Hello, my name is Amanda Buduris. I am a licensed psychologist. I'm the owner of Pacific Northwest Psychological Wellness, a therapy practice here in Seattle, Washington. If you have struggled with late payments or no-shows or cancellations in your practice, I'm excited to share with you some of my favorite features that really make it as easy as possible for me to focus on what it is that I do best, which is showing up for my clients. Now, before we get into the specifics about my practice's payment policies, I want to introduce you to where exactly you can find Jane Payments in Jane. So if you're not already signed up, you would come on over to here in the header and click Settings, navigate over to Jane Payments. And then if you're not set up, it'll collect some initial information from you so that you can get started. So enter your bank account information and basically you're ready to go. So now that you've got all that set up, let's talk about prepayments and deposits. Sometimes you might be booking an appointment and you might want to have either a card on file or for there to be some kind of a deposit for that booking. So to set that up, you would stay over here in the settings section. You would come on down to online booking and then scroll down to where you see prepayments and deposits. So this is where you can set up what it is that you want to do when you're using online booking. So you can have it be no payment requirements for online booking. You can set it so that the client or patient has to leave a card on file or have a deposit, so some percentage of the fee for the service or the full payment. So if I wanted to do a deposit for a session, I could say $100 there. You can change this to, is this the policy you want to use for a first visit, or how you want to implement that moving forward. And then click Save. So this is so simple to do, and it truly does cut down on the amount of no-shows and late cancellations. It just really confirms your time being valuable, and it helps to solidify someone is going to show up for the appointment that they book. So now that you've got this set up for any online bookings, I want to show you my next favorite feature in Jane Payments, which is to collect a credit card on file for someone's intake. So when you set that up, you would come over here to Forms and Surveys, and you would set up your intake forms for your different services. You might have a variety of types. I'm going to go into this top one. And when you have Jane Payments set up, you'll see this tab that says Credit Cards. And this is, again, where you can either not ask for an additional credit card, or you can say it's optional or it's required. So I would set it up as required, just so that as someone's doing their intake paperwork, I know I've already got it on file. And then these are some kind of consents and cancellation policies that you can share in that as well. So to say why you're collecting that information, to really reinforce what your cancellation policy is, if there's a timeline on that. And then this has the client or patient check a box confirming that they have read and understand and agree to the cancellation policy. So again, it just really helps to streamline everything so that you're not worrying about having to have those conversations with your clients or patients. This also really helps to save time so that you can actually focus on the work that you're doing in your appointment. You don't have to waste the precious time collecting all this information. And in the event of a no-show, now you have a card on file to charge any related no-show fees. And then the final feature I want to highlight on Jane Payments is their pay balance reminders. These are super helpful for you not having to spend your time chasing down clients with back-to-back voicemails or emails or things like that. But you can literally see from your schedule who has completed payment and who has not. So if you see this little dollar symbol there, you know that they have paid. If you don't see that there, you know that there's a balance due. So literally with just a couple of clicks, I can go ahead and send a reminder to the person so that they can go ahead and submit that as soon as possible. So to demo what that would look like, we would just go in here, we would see what they have for a balance, and you can either email them that reminder or we can do a text reminder. And here's a quick tip for you too. If you're generally looking to stay on top of your practice's finances, then you can come over to this top bar under reports and coming down to billing and accounts receivable. There's a ton of helpful filters here. The one for these purposes, it would be to filter by patient accounts. And then you'll see who owes what amount. So then you can quickly go into each account and do those pay balance reminders really quickly. So it's a helpful way to stay on top of everything. And I can also send reminders in a way that doesn't feel pushy. Thank you so much for joining me today to learn how I use Jane's integrated payment processing system and taken away so much stress in my practice when it comes to handling the financial side of things.